Hello everyone, this is Rick Miller. This is my week 5 presentation on public employee unions. The union I chose that I'm actually somewhat familiar with is the SEIU Local 721 Union. That's the Service Employee International Union. It's strong throughout the states. But in California, we have them in Orange County, LA County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County, and parts of Ventura County and in the Santa Barbara area. And they mainly, what they represent, I will show you on our next slide. The Service Employee International Union, which is a very large union, represents people working in hospitals, foster care, mental health, the court system, law enforcement, libraries, street services, beach maintenance, sanitation, water treatment, park services, and watershed management. It's a very large union that covers all aspects of local, county, state government, which is rather interesting given the variations in size and scope of what those positions deal with on a day-to-day basis, whether they're a local agency like your water treatment or water department or parks department, or on a county level, your sheriffs. So they have quite a bit of responsibility when it comes to the union. In regards to the ruling of Janus versus the AFSCME, a rather remarkable ruling which allowed union members to not be required to pay union dues. Prior to that ruling, they had no choice, and up until the Supreme Court ruled that public employees are no longer required to be financially responsible to essentially fund union activities, whatever they may be, whether it's fighting bills, supporting people running for office that support the plight of union members. Those employees were no longer forced to make those due payments anymore. So what's even and essentially what they argued was it goes against their First Amendment rights of speech and free association. Now, what this also required was that before any payments could be made to a union, the union must make it clearly and affirmatively clear to the union member that payments are voluntary, and they have the option to waive their right to make a payment to the union. Something I think unions are being accused of not making so clear, but the law clearly states they must keep it clear and allow or inform their potential union members of the fact that the dues are not required. An academic journal that I reviewed, it was actually in regards to SEIU, but it was more of a study, as I couldn't find something regionally, but it was more of a study, and there's the link for it up top. It was called The Worker Voice in Union Revitalization, the Role of Contract Enforcement at SEIU. This was based in Chicago, but what the whole article essentially examined was the right, the grievance system in the SEIU union, and how the streamlining of this grievance system actually benefited the union by increasing efforts to mobilize the members, increase membership, and pursue broader political objectives that would have gone beyond the traditional workplace role of unions. So it was quite an interesting article. And then lastly, in regards to the Wisconsin Act bill, what this bill did is it amended the law in regards to collective bargaining between municipal employers and employees, except for police and firefighters. What this allowed was it removed the collective bargaining from unions. The employer could essentially do what they wanted at this point. They didn't have to go and seek permission from the union, which is rather remarkable and greatly increased the benefits to the state, because they didn't have to, if they wanted to make changes, they could. And collective bargaining limited the unions, as they didn't. It limited the unions because they could no longer enforce what superintendents or schools wanting to do to better improve schools. They didn't have to seek the guidance or get permission of, essentially, from the union. So and in essence, it relates to what we've read this week, because everything we've read is it's the basics of unions and how they were created and what laws were created to protect unions, to protect workers' rights. And what this essentially did was strip the unions of a lot of their power, where they could no longer really be stable and negotiate for their members, it was unfortunate on that end. However, on the other end, it did create a very positive flow of money for the state, because they weren't having to give in to so many union demands. But I apologize, I ran about 2 minutes over time. That is my report. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to feedback.